I'm sure most of us can quickly list off several Rocket League items that are considered to be rare or expensive. White Octane, Alpha Boost, White Hat, it's all been covered many times in countless videos. Today though, I want to focus on some unusual valuable items and the stories behind why they are seen as collectible or rare. For the seasoned player, this list might show you some previously unknown value you have hidden in your inventory, or a reason to tell your friend that quit the game that he should log back in and trade you some of his old stuff. As a newer player, well, you might have a few of these, but I also think this video could give you an idea of what you might want to invest in now, or perhaps even help you recognize things that could become valuable in the future. We're going to start with something that most people don't even know is tradable: engine sounds. There are 7 tradable engine audios in Rocket League, with 3 being worth mentioning in this video. Go-Kart, Muscle Car, and Motor Mouth were part of the very first premium Rocket Pass in 2018. These engine sounds were only earned by those who paid for the Rocket Pass, and thus are in limited supply. Go-Kart and Muscle Car vary in price from about 150 credits on PC up to 350 credits on console. But the biggest value is in the always annoying Motor Mouth, which is up to 1,000 credits, if you can find someone who wants it. Now, part of what drives the price is it's not an obvious tradable item. Engine audio doesn't even have its own tab in the trade window, so you actually have to search it up alphabetically. Will future engine sounds climb in price? It's hard to say, but if you're sitting there with a Motor Mouth in your inventory that you don't use, it might be worth seeing if you can find a buyer, though someone might counter one less Motor Mouth out there is worth it too. In August 2017, Psyonix announced the addition of painted bodies in Rocket League. These were attainable through trade-ups as well as dropped through the old crate system. Given that default bodies were already a dark gray, black was not available for most cars. But strangely, there was a few newer import cars that did drop in black, for a short time anyways. Whether it was because they were too similar to the standard versions, or just a response to players complaining that the black wasn't really black anyways, Psyonix discontinued the black versions of 6 cars in early 2019. Making the ones that had been obtained to that point the only ones that will ever exist. This has made the black painted Sentio, Animus, Jaeger, Endo, Imperator, and Mantis coveted items both for collectors and people that just want their car accents to be as dark as possible. As shown in these comparisons, there is a bit of a difference. Now, this doesn't mean that there will never be black painted cars. The Twinzer has been available in black since its release in May 2018, as well as the 2019 Rocket Pass Guardian GXT, and most recently, the Season 1 series Insidio. I thought it was best to point this out so no one gets tricked into buying one of them, thinking they're discontinued. But black isn't the only color issue that has created collectible items in Rocket League. There's been a few other times in the past where a painted version of the item ended up being too similar to the default. The first one I remember is December 2017 when peppermint wheels mistakenly were also available in crimson. According to Psyonix, there were 789 red wheels open, and they decided the best course of action was to do a random roll for those players to receive a different colored paint. It was a reasonable fix at the time, but I'm sure people look back now and think what those crimson peppermint wheels might have been worth when they compare them to the price of other colored items Psyonix discontinued, but did not re-roll. For example, the Dynamo was an exotic wheel from 2018 whose standard version was red, but it was also able to drop in crimson. In response, Psyonix ended up disabling both Crimson and Burnt Sienna, but they let the few people that already received those versions keep them. The result is, the Crimson painted Dynamo is now worth 35 times as much as the default, despite being almost exactly the same. Even Burnt Sienna can go for over 2,000 credits. Some other examples would include the discontinued Crimson Aether, which was an RLCS drop and is now worth 5,000 credits, and the Sky Blue Triplex, which goes for about 2k. On the high end of the discontinued item color scale, we have the 2 legends of the trading community, the pink painted Macaron Antenna, which goes for over 6k, and the gray mainframe, arguably the most expensive black market in the game. It was removed because it was too close to white, and it currently goes for over 150,000 credits. And this is the one item on this list that I actually have. Also, shout out to this PlayStation player who I found while researching this video. He has actually almost gathered the whole discontinued set, and he's trying to sell the package for 50,000 credits. So hit him up if you got some money to drop on these. Now, when it comes to valuable items, you usually don't think of toppers, unless it's a white hat or an alpha cap. But even I was surprised to find that some specific toppers have really started to rise in value lately. And while we're not talking huge money, even you newer players could very well have a few hundred easy credits sitting in your inventory right now. Now, I believe this is mostly due to the fact that we have a very large trade-up pool, and most people don't stop to sell items, but instead continue to trade up to the next level. Uncommon painted halos are going for a good 200 to 300 credits, or more if you have the coveted red, black, or white version. For rare toppers, the Octopus and Wildcat ears seem to be in demand. Black Octopus is fetching up to 1,000 credits right now. Now remember, if you're on console, you may be even looking at prices higher than this. For you veteran players, you might be surprised to know some of the limited items you were disappointed to receive back in the day have now recently become popular and expensive. The Jolt Bangle and Phoenix Wings from the first Rocket Pass in 2018 are worth a decent amount, as well as the Looking for Team Topper, which was an old RLCS stream drop. For myself, when I went through my inventory, I counted it up and my collection of just these 3 limited painted toppers came out to over 3,500 credits. Money I didn't even know I had, so it might be worth looking into yourself. For the next section, I first need to give you a little history lesson on Rocket League's old crate-based item system. Crates were a special item drop that contained exclusive cosmetics. Each crate had a unique series of items, and each rarity of them dropped at a specific rate. Players could unlock crates with keys that sold for about $1 each. A 1% drop rate meant statistically a black market decal could cost $100, but that also didn't mean you couldn't open one with your very first key. There was also an animated roulette wheel, but its function was cosmetic only, and it didn't actually represent how close you were to getting a certain item.
There was 2, there was 3, there was 4, there was all the reds in the world, and mystery decals just going down like, hey John, hey John, hey John, hey John, hey John, hey John, and then nothing. And then it gives me the gizmo, mean streak. Due
to laws about gambling, Psyonix switched to the blueprint and item shop system in 2019. At that time, all unopened crates in players' inventories were turned into unrevealed blueprints. As you can see, I have almost 500 of these myself. When I click on one, the server does a roll to determine which item from the old crate series I will receive, in blueprint form of course. Where some unexpected wealth may lie for you players that have been around for a while is blueprints from old event crates. These contain many items that do not appear in any other series, and thus can be worth a decent amount. There's only a limited number of these unused blueprints left, so it might be worth your while to look up what you have and compare prices at the market analysis site rl.insider.gg, which I'll link in the description. One example is the Butterfly's Goal Explosion from the Spring Fever crate of 2018. This exotic item so far has only appeared in that crate, so if you were to reveal a blueprint for it, first of all you'd have a pretty rare and cool Goal Explosion, or you might have a decent profit as it goes for about double its build price of 800 credits. But I want to focus on the Haunted Hallows crate of 2017. This one has several expensive items that are exclusive only to this blueprint series, including an OCTANE and Dominus decal, and 2 very rare wheels. But things got even stranger in September 2020 when Haunted Hallows blueprint trade-ups started giving painted Reaper and Vampire Bat Goal Explosions, something that had never existed in the original crate. This coincided with the Goal Explosions also appearing in the shop in October. With the crate being over 3 years old, there's only a very limited number of these blueprints left to trade up, and the prices for these new painted Goal Explosions have gone crazy. Up to 30,000 credits for Vampire Bats, or 80,000 credits for Reapers. Once again, depending on color of course. But then, in early 2021, conspiracy theories started to be posted to Reddit. As people started to buy old Haunted Hallows blueprints to trade up, some claimed that it seemed like these painted Goal Explosions were no longer part of the drop table. Accusations against Psyonix started to fly. People assumed that the original trade-ups weren't supposed to happen, and Psyonix had just fixed the bug. In April, Psyonix community manager Devin responded to a pointed question on the Rocket League Exchange subreddit. His words were simple: yes, they still can be obtained from trade-ups. The trading community, though, is not convinced, and with so little blueprints left on the market, it's really hard to say what's going on. After revealing my own 20 Haunted Hallow blueprints, I was only able to try one trade-up for the import Goal Explosions, and I got Vampire Bats unpainted. I'm not really sure what to recommend at this point. Maybe you shouldn't be trading up any Haunted Hallows blueprints until we get more info. Revealing your Haunted Hallows blueprints could still be worthwhile though. Out of the 20 I did, my best pulls were a Lime Afterlife Dominus decal and a Crimson Thanatos OCTANE decal. Both cost 100 credits to build, with the Afterlife going for 500 and the Thanatos Crimson is 1300, so that seems like a win to me. If you guys are interested in item prices and want to test your knowledge of the market, I do invite you to check out my latest Rocket League game show linked here. It's The Price is Right, featuring John Sandman, Sodas, and Athena. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments if I helped you find any value in your inventory. My name is Rocket Sledge. Thanks for watching.